One of the things that I want to talk about, especially mentioning Cameron McIntosh, is obviously because Mary Poppins started out in the mid 2000s, and uh, how were you approached? Because I think you did it with Matthew Bourne as well.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So when it came to doing Mary Poppins in the West End, um, who gave you the call? Was it Cameron McIntosh? Was it the director? Who was it?
It was Cameron, because
Okay.
both me and Matthew at the time, I don't know who I thought I was, but at the time, neither of us wanted to do it with each other, really. We just thought, well, why do we? But that's Cameron being a genius, because he put two total different, not totally different, because we love all the same stuff, me and Matthew, but two different styles and put them together. And it worked for me. I think the show would not have been as good if it was just either one of us. I just thought the style of choreography throughout the show is so diverse and big, and you have to have the best dancers doing it. And I think that's what makes the show look so fabulous. I mean, it's a marathon for some of for some of them in the show, but it also is, I watched it the other day and I just forgot how just Disney being involved, Cameron, Richard Eyre, they're just amazing, all these people to work with, and it was great collaboration between me and Matthew. I mean, he's a genius.
When you did Mary Poppins, obviously, it must have been difficult for Cameron McIntosh to, in some ways, to get the rights, because when I watched the documentary, Cameron actually had to get the rights early while she was P.L. Travers was still alive, from what I gathered.
Yeah. And that was hard.
Yeah. Jimmy, it's like, how do we do it? But then I think she was more happy with the fact that it was going to be in Britain first. So it was like in England. So it's not going to be Americanized. But then obviously Disney had to tiptoe in as soon as he.
Yeah, I mean, I think they couldn't. I think Disney had the rights before Cameron. Can't remember how it worked, but so it's 50-50. But when we did like 5 versions, well, more than 5 versions of Temper as it was. Now it's called Playing the Game, with all the toys coming alive. But when we went to Disney, it did get Disneyfied. I mean, it looks more spectacular through going to Disney. And now it's changed again. When we came back, we did a whole big change once we came back, and it's so much better. It's just beautiful theatre.
Yeah. When you did the choreography for Mary Poppins, what did you and Sir Matthew, actually, Matthew Bourne, what did you two do different than what the film offered? Obviously, there was the singing, dancing in Mary Poppins, but what did you sit back and think, right, what can we do different than what the film actually offered?
Yeah, I mean, we also had Bob Crowley, the designer, who was genius. And I remember thinking, how can we do Super Cow? Because you always think of the penguins and the tambourines, and of course we go to Mrs. Corrie's shop, which is an actual story in the books, and my partner's deaf, so I wanted to sign it, which it was a bit of a bonkers idea of saying I'm dyslexic, and so we had to have all the letters on the mirrors to do all the signing for it, and so that made it very different. And that's a massive, I didn't realize how big that was going to be. I mean, I remember in Disneyland, they did it with 2,000 people doing all the letters. You never dream your choreography is going to be on worldwide and people know what it is. Chimney sweeps, because I'm a tap dancer, I wanted to make it into a tap number. Everybody thinks the film is a tap number. It's not at all. It's just balletic jumps, which are amazing. So I wanted to make it into a big tap number, especially when I knew I'd got Gavin Lee, who was going to play Bert originally. So yeah, there were the things we changed, but we all spoke about everything. The statues in the park for Jolly Holiday. George Stiles, Anthony Drew wrote the extra music with the Sherman Brothers. So things were different. People say to us now, oh no, that song, I love that Anything Can Happen in the film. I said, it's not in the film. That's Stiles and Drew being genius, just doing something so close. There's another song in Jolly Holiday, people think's in it, and it's not. But, so we did stay very true and loyal to the period style, but we just elaborated on it and made it our own. And I remember saying to Bob Crowley one day, in the tap number, it'd be great if he could go up the wall a bit. And then, like Donald O'Connor in Singing the Rain, he went, well, why don't we take him up the wall and across the top, tap dancing upside down, and then bring him down the other side? And I was like, what? And that's what we do in the show. I mean, it's amazing in the show. I have to say that's very exciting.
Did you ever get to meet the original cast of the film, like Julie Andrews or Dick Van Dyke or
they've had Dick Van Dyke. We did have Julie Andrews, which was fabulous. But Dick Van Dyke, they came when we were in America, but I wasn't there then when we took our show to America.